All right, y'all, just finished. I'm with the Air Force and right outside Orlando, man. We just finished doing my first official 5K. All right, with my boy Hector, man. I learned a lot.
Hector.
I learned a whole lot. Like, normally I'm just on the treadmill doing my thing. And here, like, it's serious. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're starting off fast, and in the middle, it's the doldrum. You want to quit and give up, you know, but it was funny. Hector, I told Hector, like, go. Just go. You know what I'm saying? I can see where I'm going. I'll catch up later. He was like, In the Air Force, there's no man left behind. You know what I'm saying? No airman left behind. So, like I said, I did my best time, so I'm pretty geeked about that. And first 5K, we're going 10K next, half a marathon eventually. Might take me 20 years, but we're gonna get there. So once again, man, I just learned a lot today. You know, it's about sacrifice, man. Hector made a sacrifice. He could have blew me out, you know, but he stayed behind. And some of y'all, you're still living your life for yourself. And you gotta learn to make sacrifices, man. You know, sometimes to get to the top, you gotta take people with you. So, it's your boy ET. We're not finished yet. I'm about to go wash up, shave, and then we coming with that speech to encourage those people who fight for us and encourage us every day, man. And I know everybody's not into sports cars. I'm not, but I do understand what they are. And so if you've ever just heard of a Porsche before, you can just raise your hand for me. You know what a Porsche is. Good. I just want to make sure you knew what it was. And so if somebody could just quickly volunteer and tell me, when you think about a Porsche, what is that car? What is that vehicle known for? Just anybody. Just raise your hand for me right here. Performance. Good. Performance. And when you say performance, for those of us who are into cars, when you say performance, you're referring to what?
Handling speed.
Yeah, handling speed. Yeah, I like that. I haven't heard anybody put it like that before. Handling speed. So, quickly, guys, what happens is, if you own a Porsche in the United States of America, I was just in Florida, Miami, not too long ago, and I don't know what kind of money they're making in Florida, but it's a different kind of money than what they're making in Detroit. It's a different kind of money. Like, I'm not 100% sure what they're doing professionally, but I saw a lot of Porsches, and I don't see that in Detroit, right? So I'm like, wow, what's going on? A lot of Porsches, right? And so, but the challenge if you have a Porsche in America is that you probably bought the vehicle more because economically you were in a position to do so. Right? And so young people would say, like, you balling. You want people to know, you know, that you have money. Because you can't go as fast as the vehicle goes. As a matter of fact, when you look at the speed limit, and we were with Hector, I love Hector, right? It's a great experience. I was with Hector, and I knew we were in the government vehicle because we didn't speed at all. I was like, this is great. Like, I have not experienced it before. Like, normally when I'm in the vehicle, we move it, right? Like he said, 65, we're trying to go. It's like, okay, maybe we do 70 or 69. They won't pull us over, at least 5. Hector was like, if it was 60, Hector was like 58 right there. And so I was like, I like this, right? And so in America, if you buy a Porsche, it's because you're trying to prove, right, that you have money. And why do I say that? Because if you bought that same vehicle and you had it in Germany, yeah. Like, I don't know how fast it goes, to be honest with you. I've not been in a Porsche yet, but if it does 180, you have permission to do 180 miles per hour. All right? You have permission to do it. And so what happens is, if you own a Porsche, you're able to go 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, however many gears there are, right? And I want to challenge you today, because what I've discovered is that average people are like an American Porsche. You have the ability to go in 6 gears, but some of us get stuck in 3 for the rest of our lives. Like, we can do more. We can push ourselves. We've got more in us. We have the ability to be resilient, right? But for whatever reason. So this morning, I guess a couple of days ago, I got a phone call like, Eric, I thought I was speaking, and then I got a phone call, and they asked, are you going to do the 5K with the airmen? I was like, I didn't know that was part of the deal. Like, I didn't say anything about a 5K. I said I was coming to speak. I was coming to speak, right? And so I said, absolutely. You know, I run. I don't run with people. I run alone. Right? I got like a little treadmill in the basement, right? I can put it on whenever I want to put it on, right? And I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Nobody's watching me when I run. So I can have it on whenever I want. I can have it in 3, even though I can go to 6. But I said yes. Why? Because I don't want to be the person that I was when I was 16 and 17. And all I did was enough to get by. I was average. I never pushed myself.
I never wanted to see how much I had in me. I didn't like to push, so I took the classes that were the easiest. I took the teachers that were the easiest. I took the road that everybody else traveled on. But this pastor, he challenged me. He challenged me, listen to me, he didn't say, I need you to go to school and get all A's, I need you to do this and that. No, he said, Eric, there's more in you, and I need you to push yourself to see what's in you. And so when I got the phone call, I said, without hesitation, because, if you hesitate, you may not do that. Like, yep, I'm doing it. Like, when I said, yep, I didn't even think about it. Like, yep, go right ahead, I got it. Right, so when I packed my bags, that's why you got to put some other stuff. And so Hector and I, we were talking, and Hector was telling me, he didn't really say how fast he ran the 5K, but it was something in him that told me this wasn't his first time doing it. Right? And so he kind of gave me a little ballpark figure, and I wasn't honest. I wasn't truthful. I didn't tell him that it normally takes me about, I do a 10-minute mile. I didn't say 30. I said I can do it, I don't know what I told him, 24. I don't remember what I said. I said I can do it in 24. Why? Because had I said to him, I run a 10-minute mile, he would have made sure when I ran that I stayed within that range. And I didn't want to do what I always did. This was an opportunity for me to do what I've never done before. This was an opportunity for me to stretch myself. This was an opportunity for me to, when you do that run and you can feel your heart beating that run, it's a different one. You can do the same 3, 5, whatever, 4 miles, but you don't feel anything when you finish. You can still walk like, you feel good. That's the one that, and then I really got tricked this morning because I didn't know we were going to do something before we ran. I've never done that before. Like, I've never done that before. Normally, I like to do a 5K, I need all my energy. I need all my strength, right? I don't even stretch. Like, that might take too much from me. I just go run and come back. That's it.
Run! High knees for 1 minute! Go! High knees!
High knees. I'm like, whoa. That wasn't in the contract, high knees. Right? And then for 1 minute, I'm like, whoa, we have to do a full minute? Like, so then after that, I'm like, all right, good, I can do the high knee. Then she said, the back kick. I'm like, what does that look like? Then we went to jumping jacks. I'm like, I haven't done a jumping jacks since middle school. Like, literally, and we're counting to do like it. And then oh man, the last one hurt me. Just when I thought we were finished, she told us to stretch and said, since you're still down there, just do 20 push-ups. I'm like, 20 push-ups. Like, you're killing me now. And we're going to run right after this, right? So listen to me very carefully. So he pushed me. Listen to me, guys. It is so easy to be average. It doesn't take anything to be average, right? And so sometimes you got these regular test guys, the PTs, and you need to get a 5 in every area. Some people are like, this kid, I can't believe it. It's too much, right? And I challenge you first. Listen to me. The first thing I'm asking you to do for me, I challenge you to see how many gears you have. And just because you're accustomed to 3, I challenge you. When somebody challenges you to go to 4, like, don't take that personal. What I want you to do is say, let me see if I can meet that challenge. And so we've done all of this, and then we're about to run, and I'm like, whoa, we're about to run. All right, here we go. And I've never run with a group of people before, and that's different. And so we take off, right, and we're doing our thing, and listen to me, after about the first mile, I'm not sure I like where this is going. Right? I'm not sure. Like, it's a whole group of people. We're like, take off the first mile. I'm like, whoa, I can't quit if I want to. Like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, hear what I'm telling you. What I'm saying to you is that if you're going to be the best that you could possibly be, what you have to do as soon as we started, before my feet began to move, I made up in my mind, I'm going to finish and I'm not going to stop. There's some things in life you can't get as you're going through the process and you're thinking about it. Like, you got to make up your mind in the beginning. Like, you got to start off saying, this is exactly where I'm going, and I don't care what happens, I'm not going to stop. So I said, Eric, listen to me, make up your mind. If you're going to do this, you're going to do it. So as soon as you go, and so we started going, and Hector, I don't know what he was thinking. But I positioned myself properly. We had a big group, and I kind of was like, I'm all right, we good. Just let them go, and I'll catch up. I know, because they do this once a month, so just go. Hector was like, Eric, let's move closer to the front. By the time I finished, we were up front. I said, you said closer to the front. We are all the way up front now. And I know the people up front, they can do this thing. I wouldn't be in the back. I knew there was some other folks back, you were back there for a reason. I wanted to be with you. Right? I've never done this before. I want to be back. So we were all the way in front. We take off the first mile. I'm like, whoa, is this where we headed? And so I'm like, I can do this thing. And I told Hector, I love it. I told Hector, look, you know how to do it. Just go. For real, because he was talking and everything. I'm like, whoa, he's talking while we running? I'm like, who does that? I need all my breath. And he's having a full conversation with me. Like, you see the planes over there? I'm like, nope, I don't. I don't see nothing. We can do a tour later. I gotta need all my energy to do this. And we're having like a full-blown conversation. I'm like, he's killing me. Right? But I'm doing my thing. And listen to me, you gotta catch this one, right? The first thing he says is, as airmen, we don't leave each other. I'm like, I wish we would. I'm digging the accountability thing, right? I'm looking for music to play when he was sitting in the background with no music, right? And so at that point I realized, like, yo, for real, you in now, you're in. So listen to me very closely, guys. What happened when the pastor was talking to me, he said, Eric, you're a high school dropout, you're homeless, you're living in abandoned buildings, you're eating out of garbage cans. That does not represent who you are. That's not who you are. I don't know what happened in your life. I don't know why your daddy wasn't in your life. I don't understand your circumstances. I don't know where you come from. I don't know your background. As a matter of fact, I don't care. What I see in this young man is a potential. You have potential. You can do greatness. And he's talking to somebody who's a high school dropout. We're talking about, I won't leave you, Eric. I won't leave you. And sometimes in life, listen to me, sometimes in life, if people are going to reach their greatness, if they're going to be resilient, if they're going to be able to take their game to the next level, sometimes they need a little bit of accountability. And he said to me, there's greatness within you. And I'm telling you, the craziest thing in life is every time I speak, I'm thinking about the fact that when I get up and talk to people across the country, whether it's the NBA, the NFL, high school, corporate America, I'm like, wow. This guy saw 6 gears when I was operating in 2. When I didn't even know I had 6 gears. So every time I speak, I'm like, wow, I'm here because somebody else believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. Somebody else saw something in me that I didn't see. I'm asking you this question. When you wake up every day, listen to me, I get up at 3 o'clock every morning. And I go out to some communities that people are afraid to go out to. And I talk to some kids that people are giving up on. But why? How am I able to do it every morning at 3 o'clock? Because every morning I get up, I start with the vision. Let me tell you something about life. You will never get to 6 years. You will never be able to do things that other people can't do if you can't envision it, if you can't see it. So let me say this to you. I don't know what your routine is. I don't know what your ritual is outside of, and I'm not talking about as airmen. I'm not talking about the A family. What they ask you to do as a ritual. I'm talking about what's your own ritual. I have rituals because of my company. There are things that we do as a company. I think we start about 9 o'clock in the morning. Let me tell you something. I've been up for 6 hours before our first conversation. I've been up for about 6.5 hours. I got my own rituals. What's your rituals? When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is I think about my mother. I'm like, wow, my mother got pregnant at 17 years old. She should have had an abortion. She was homeless. My grandmother kicked her out. She should have had an abortion. And the fact that she did not have an abortion, I'm going to give her a return on her investment. So every day I wake up, I think about my mama when I don't want to run. I think about my mama when I don't want to run. And I think about my wife, who I've been married to for over 22 years. I think about when the whole world gave up on me, the whole world. How she looked out for me when we were teenagers, and how she pushed me. And I say, I gotta, my wife, my daughter, let me ask you this, what's your why? You'll never be able to do what other people, you'll be average your entire life. You'll never get to great, you'll never get to phenomenal when you wake up in the morning if you don't know your why. Why? Because when you wake up, there are gonna be about 50 million obstacles. But you know what allows you to get through those 50 million obstacles? Those 51 million whys. See, your why has to be deeper than your challenge. Your why has to be deeper than your obstacle. Your why has to be deeper than the mountain. And yep, just like you, there are times when I'm climbing up that mountain that I don't want to climb anymore. There are times that as a high school dropout, I'm studying for my PhD, and I'm probably one of the dumbest students in class. I don't use the same words that they use. I'm not as deep as they are. It takes me longer to write papers, but I think, Eric, what will happen if you got on YouTube and told those kids that believe in you that I can't do it anymore. I just can't do the PhD. I'm sorry. I'm not smart enough for the PhD. It's too hard. It's too tough. It's too challenging. I can see kids saying, whew, glad Eric Thomas gave up. Now I got permission to give up. I'm glad Eric can't do it because I didn't think I could do what I was doing anyway. I was really only doing it because I see my man from the hood doing it. I see a guy who daddy wasn't his life do it. I see a guy who was a high school dropout. I see a guy that it took 12 years to get a 4-year degree. I see him doing it. If he can do it, I can do it. But I guess if he can't do it, I can't do it. I ask you this question. I'm not talking about once a month, once a week. I'm not talking about once a quarter. What's your why? And how often do you look at your why? What drives you? What moves you? What makes you say, I will not quit. I will not give up. I will not surrender. Why? Because there are too many people behind me looking up to me to quit. I challenge you. I challenge you to stop thinking about yourself. I challenge you. I challenge you to wake up in the morning and say, okay, here go my why right here. Here go my why. That's why I do it. I tell people all the time, I say, E.T., for real, come on, E. Let's just be honest, all right? All right, we're going to move to the second principle. I got to make sure I got the first one. What's your why? When you wake up in the morning, what do you want? Can I be honest with you guys? The reason why I'm getting my PhD is because my granddaddy dropped out, my father dropped out, and I dropped out of high school. My son is a senior in high school. Let me tell you guys, it's crazy. Like I told my son, like there hasn't been in my family, my father and my grandfather, nobody's graduated from high school in probably 60 years, son. You'll be the first one, but no pressure. No pressure. I just want you to know, like real, we got like about 155 people coming to see this, but there's no pressure whatsoever. So, all right, just need you to finish this thing up, right? So listen to me. The reason why I'm getting a PhD is because if I'm getting a PhD, my son can at least get his high school diploma. He doesn't have an excuse when he sees the GED. Okay, I'm gonna start over because I think you missed it. He has no excuse when he sees GED. Because that's the first one that's up. We don't hide it. The GED, that's the gateway, the 4-year degree, the master's, and we staring down the PhD for 2013. It's no, my son, when my son walks in the house, he has to say, wow, GED, wow, 4-year degree, wow, 12 years, but dad did it. Wow, master's degree, wow. He's studying for his PhD. So when I tell my son, do your schoolwork, listen to me, guys, and this is why I love you so much. Because you guys aren't talking about it, you live in it, right? And so when I tell my son, you gotta do well academically, is when I'm putting my book back on and I'm walking out the house to go study. And I say, you wanna go to the library together, you wanna study together. As a matter of fact, we probably both gonna be graduating together. This year you'll get your high school diploma. This year I'll get my PhD. Can we just do an open house together? Can I just share a little bit of your open house? I'll just take this spot. You can have the whole book, but just give me that little area over there so I can get a couple cards with a couple dollars in this, man. So listen to me real closely, for real. We're moving. What's your why? What's your why, guys? What's your why? And when we do Thank God It's Monday, listen to me, I do it for free every week. Why? Because I'm trying to inspire my country. We were in a recession. We were going through it, and I got a gift. And so every Monday I get up and I do it. All right. So when you know your why, this is why I'm asking you this. When you know your why, at that point you can start making the sacrifices you need to make, and you can make the right adjustments in your life. So I'll never forget, I came home to my wife and I told my wife for over 22 years I'm quitting my job at Michigan State, and I'm going to start working doing free TGIMs for the world. I told her I can't do Michigan State and do the work that I'm doing. She said, how much are you getting paid to do the Thank God It's Monday? And I said, it's free. She said, okay, help me out. Okay, help me out. I'm not upset with you, but help me understand that you're about to quit a job with pension, you're about to quit a job 401k, with insurance, you're about to quit a job, and you're just going to look at the camera every Monday and just say, thank God it's Monday, and do 15, 20 minutes of inspiration for free. Like, that's what you're telling me. I said, absolutely. And God told me to do it. He said, okay, well, tell God to tell me to tell you. I ain't mad at God, but it's the three of us in this equation. God, you, me. He ain't told me that. So, and you can tell God to have the same conversation with me. No, listen to what I'm telling you. And you guys already know this, but I want to remind you, because what happens sometimes, I told you I've been married 22 years. Can I tell you what happens sometimes? Why the divorce rate is so high? Because sometimes the person you were when you were dating, the person you were when you were getting the wedding together, the person you were the day of the wedding, the person you were when you did the honeymoon, that starts to slip away. No, it's the same thing here. When you joined, remember when you first signed up, you was on fire. These first was recruitment, you like, I'm ready. How many push-ups? Got it. You was ready, like whatever they asked you to do, you was all in, you was loving it. I saw the day that she went from like, one high knee, I saw a couple people, they was high knee and pop. By the time she said the second high knee, you had switched the game up on the second one. Right? She was hot push-ups. You was like on your knees doing push-ups. But back in the day, and they said high knees, you weren't even counting. So what happens? People say, Eric, like for real, you and your wife should do a reality show. Like your marriage, like we're not suggesting you perfect, but wow, y'all guys like Huxtable, y'all family got it going on. And why? Because I remember every day when I wake up, I remember when I was homeless and a high school dropout, and my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, used to give me her allowance. Even though I travel the world right now, they pick me up in limousines, I stay in the best hotel, I still remember our relationship as a guy who was homeless. I would talk to my wife as if I'm a celebrity now. I still deal with her as that 17-year-old who needed this 16-year-old to get to him where he is right now. I don't treat her like the woman do you know what I'm doing? Do you know who I am? No. When I walk in the door, I'm like, she says, can you give me, and I love it. This is her thing. I love it. 10:30 at night. She's like, I'm thirsty. I'm like, now you're too grown to be saying that out loud. Why are you telling me that? She's not saying, I'm thirsty. Because she wants me to hear it. She's saying, I'm thirsty because I want you to run to the refrigerator and give me some water. No, listen to me, guys. And when I go, and I'm not trying to make your life difficult, but when I go into the kitchen to get the water, I'm geeked. I'm running the kitchen like, woo! Why? Shh, because I get to, I ain't got to. When you first signed up, when you first enlisted, when you first enrolled, you had that, I get to be a part of this great country. I get to do this great work. And as time progresses, you have to be careful because I get to goes to I got to. And it's different. So I can run to the kitchen, I can grab the big cup so I don't have to come back. You feel me? I don't get like the 16 ounce more than 12. I get like the 64 the jumbo cup. I feel that thing on with ice. I know exactly what she wants to ice now. I know exactly what she wants to water. Then I put the straw in it. Then I run and I get to I get.